An event that made its debut last season in the Team Quadrilla Marble League makes its way here in Season 5 in event number 12. Welcome back to the Team Quadrilla Marble League in Season 5. The Holeshot Cross is here. We're in the home stretch of events now, and today, returning in the commentary box alongside me is a special guest and friend of the channel, Big Angus.
Hello everyone. It is a pleasure to be here for one of my personal favourite of the Team QML events, the Holeshot Cross, a perfect endurance-based event. At this point in the season, it's going to be what everyone is going to try and achieve here, just to reach that green basin at the end. The Rosebloods lead the Deep Divers by 8 points, and a little bit further back is Valley Dashers, Maze Runners, and Venomous Vipers, who've cracked 100 points so far, but it's still fairly close, especially in those mid-pack spots for the lower podium, but those top two really pulling away here, and the Rosebloods and Deep Divers finished top two in this event last season, so they look already particularly dangerous as the heats have already been seeded there. The top two already separated into two different heats as the test runners line up with some familiar faces at the back four there.
Yes, indeed. Yesterday it was announced that Season 6 of the Individual Quadrilla Marble League, the last season of the Individual League, so some of these marbles have been given the opportunity to demonstrate this event. Of course, 8 marbles in the blocks here. They'll come down here. You need to get 2 strikes to be out. You can get strikes by falling in the holes, by falling on either side. If you don't reach the catch basin, you will get a strike here. And we will do as many rounds as is required to get down to 4 marbles, where those 4 marbles will advance to the grand final. And the grand final with 8 marbles, it will be as many rounds as possible to get down to 1 winner. So in this test run, we'll just do 3 rounds to keep things short, but you can see the Copperhead Sandstorm and the Snake Eyes with Spectacle, those 3 marbles got strikes here, so if they get another one, they will be taken out of the event.
And only 7 the numbers that made it to the end with 1 strike would make on to round 3. And as you can see, several plunging off to the side. I believe I saw Blizzard and Blue Tail going off to either side of the thing and bumping the wall. They're almost toppling the wall over, as we had 5 finish in this round, where any of them repeat offenders to fall off the course. Just waiting for the graphic. And yes, the Copperheads, second strike, they would go out. We'd be down to 7 in round 3 of this. And Blue Tail and Blizzard picking up their first strikes, while Sandstorm and Snake Eyes Spectacle just keep their run going after a strike in round 1. And this will be our final round for the test run. This is going to be a competition to see who actually stays alive through all 3 rounds, and then we'll move on to the main show.
So Ocean and Phoenix lead the way here. Oh, a lot of marbles falling in the holes, and 3 marbles going off to the near side. Just third round particularly dangerous here. Many marbles going to be getting their strikes here. Second strikes for a lot of them here. So this might have actually been a round that would have determined the final 4 regardless. And only Blizzard and Spectacle of the Snake Eyes managed to get to the end there. But now on to the main event. Deep Divers, Maze Runners, Venomous Vipers, Bacon Bowlers, Bauble Squad, Green Supreme, Efficient Eggs, and the Treat Fleet lined up in that order for the first run of Holeshot Cross of the day of the main tournament here. And off they go. They circle in the funnels here, trying to keep their gaps apart here and get to the end without any trouble, and 2 marbles are off to the near side. That's Fern of the Green Supreme and Jewel, the captain of the Bauble Squad. No one managed to fall in the holes, but those holes can trip you up, as it did, I think, for Fern of the Green Supreme. They will go off to the near side and pick up their first strike. Same can be said for the Bauble Squad, but those 2 marbles will have a second chance, and a chance still to advance to the next round, but they're on their final chance now. They can't go out here in the second round.
Interestingly, those 2 sandwiched between 3 marbles each that did make it to the end. 6 finishes in the first round is rather impressive, and the Bauble Squad, after being pipped to the post in the last event, perhaps still a bit rattled by that triathlon final. The Maze Runners leading the pack in round 2 here. It's Venomous Vipers, the only marble to come off to the far side. Everybody else will clear it, and we will have no eliminations, as that is the first strike for the Vipers. They're being caught out on one of the gaps and just can't keep it composed on the second part of the course. They will get their first strike of the day, and now we only have 3 marbles on 1 strike. Everyone doing pretty well here in the first heat thus far. Deep Divers, though, they looked very close to the edge. That was a dangerous run by Marine, but keep it going. 0 strikes for them, and we have 3. Fern, Jewel, and Viper now on a strike. If any of them go out, they will be out of this event, and they will crash out early in this event. Coming down for round 3 now with Venomous Vipers leading the way.
The Viper is trying to get a big gap to the marbles behind, and I think the Vipers are gone. The Vipers are going to be out in the 3rd round. Where did it happen? It was hard to see here from this other angle. We can see it, and in the center hole they will fall through, and the Venomous Vipers will be our first elimination, the home team. The events have not been going well for them as of late, and the Venomous Vipers are going to get a very poor result in this event. we're down to 7 here in round number 4. Still 3 marbles. Also, Rasher of the Bacon Brothers got their first strike here. They, the Green Supreme, and the Efficient Eggs are down to their final chance, while the other 4 marbles still have 2 strikes in hand. Off they go here. Bobble Squad leading the way. Gaps are kind of close here. Bacon Brothers actually going to come around first, and they will make it to the end. Green Supreme to the near side. They will also get their second strike, and they will be done.
Rasher there with a beautiful run, taking advantage of being in first place, just launched down the beam, down the middle, no problems whatsoever. But the Green Supreme, another early exit, or even round 4 is pretty good to make this far. All these competitors are having a great run so far, and just Fry and Jewel, who I believe Jewel crashed out in the first round and has kept going up to this point, but those 4 Fry through to Grain are still yet to get any strikes. So Rasher and Jewel really under some pressure here with those 4 in the middle. Jewel is up front coming down in round 5. They do make it to the end, as do the Efficient Eggs, but it's just the deep divers that's critical. The championship leaders coming, championship second place, chasing the championship leaders, come off to the near side and have gotten their first strike while everybody else clears it. This is going down to the wire, as we did not lose any marbles in that round.
No, we did not. Deep Divers are down to their final chance as well as the Bobble Squad and Bacon Brothers from the previous rounds. Maze Runners, Treat Fleet, and the Efficient Eggs, with 2 of them being reserves, still have 2 strikes in hand. That's great for those 2 marbles particularly. But off they go here. Efficient Eggs leading the way, and they're well ahead of the second marble back. And now it closes up as they exit the funnel there. And Treat Fleet is going to fall through one of the holes. They will get their first strike here. Everyone else managed to make it. The Efficient Eggs had a scare there. They were very close to the near side, but just managed to get back into the tray. And they will hold on to their 2-strike advantage here, while Treat Fleet now join the Deep Divers, Bacon Brothers, and the Bobble Squad with just 1 chance left in Heat 1.
Just Grain and Fry have no strikes. Everybody else, if we see 2 of those in the yellow go in this round, we will have our 4 to advance. It just all depends on who it is going to be. It's very tightly packed coming through the funnel. I think I saw Treat Fleet come through. I saw several marbles come off, in fact, including Bacon Brawlers and Bauble Squad. I believe that's 3 marbles who already had a strike. I don't know what this means, as we have our 3 that will advance. It was the 3 that we definitely know will advance. Deep Divers, Maze Runners, and Efficient Eggs, Grain and Fry going strikeless all heat. And it looks like Cocoa Powder with an asterisk. Ramen, explain to me what that means. They will advance.
Cocoa Powder getting their first strike later than the Bobble Squad and the Bacon Brothers. That will be the tiebreaker, and they will go on to the final. What fortune there for the Treat Fleet. They are getting a top half finish, but on we go to heat number 2 here. Rosebloods, with the Deep Divers advancing. Pressure is on for them to continue their fine form from this event last season and do well here. They're out in front here, and at the Valley Dashers, Rosebloods are going to fall through. Several marbles are going to fall through. 2 marbles only are going to get to the end. The Pumpkin Patch and the Golden Cheese is the only 2 marbles that cleared the first round here in the second heat. Couple marbles fell in the holes, and 3 of them, I think, 4 of them actually, fell on either side. It is the Shadow Riders, Valley Dashers, and the Cold Fusion. Actually, one of them must have also fallen in the holes, but that was a catastrophic round for so many of these marbles.
Heat 2 could be over in just 2 rounds here, with 6 marbles already on a strike. It's just the Golden Cheeses, and I believe I've already forgotten who the other one was. There's just complete chaos in the first heat. There's chaos at the bottom again. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 6 marbles make it to the end. Valley Dashers go to the near side. I do believe they would be out. Oh, it was Pumpkin Patch was the other one. Those 2 are both still safe with no strikes. We lost someone else. I didn't quite catch who it was. Valley Dashers will go out, as will the Shadow Riders. Silhouette, the captain, and Rift, the reserve, will both crash out in just round 2 of the event. I believe that's going to be a bottom 2 result for those competitors, as Orchithra Azalea, though, they still have their strike, with Gordon Feder looking good in the very early stages of Heat 2. We've already lost 2 marbles in Heat 2 at just round 3.
Yes, indeed. Now a big split here between the first 4 marbles and the last 2. Gordon Feta looking pretty good here. Orca will fall in the hole, and so will Toxin of the Poison Ivy, and that is it for Heat 2. It ended pretty much as soon as it started here in the second heat. Just 3 rounds to whittle it down to 4 competitors. Orca of Team Atlantic is done. Poison Ivy, the last place team in the championship, also done. And these marbles that got eliminated in Heat 2 are going to get probably the bottom 4 results in this event because of how early they got eliminated. But the Rosebloods, Pumpkin Patch, Golden Cheese, and the Cold Fusion will advance on to the final. And here we'll see 9th to 16th. Yes, indeed, Bacon Brawlers Bobble Squad best of the rest. In fact, the whole Heat 1 non-advancers all managed to get 9 to 12. That is terrible for the marbles that couldn't advance from Heat number 2. But on we are here for the final. Deep Divers down to Cold Fusion in the first round, and off they go.
Interestingly, how Heat 1 got all the way to round 7, while Heat 2 only went to round 3. The Heat 2 marbles at advantage might have the advantage of being less tired due to doing less rounds, as down several marbles plunged. There was a 5-3 split there, and only one marble falls on through. I believe it was Treat Fleet. Everybody else has cleared the board easily. No real problems for any of those marbles. Cotton Cheeses clear it there, and yeah, there it was, Treat Fleet drifting from the center to the right, and they fall on through, and they will be the only marble in the final so far to get a strike. Of course, now that we're in the final, we're going to keep going until there's just one marble left with either 1 or possibly even 0 strikes. But Cocoa Powder, 1 strike for now as we shuffle everyone forward, and noticeably both the Rosebloods and the Deep Divers are in this final. This is going to go down to the wire between them again, possibly. We're going to have to wait and find out as round 2 line up now with Rosebloods in front and Deep Divers at the back.
And a big spread here in the funnel. Rosebloods coming out in front. They will clear it no problem. Everyone's seeming to clear it no problem. Deep Divers had some trouble there. Saved it though. Look at the Deep Divers trajectory. Getting launched by one of the holes to the near side. And recover perfectly. They were absolutely going to go out if they did not curve back to the center. And this means all 8 marbles are going to clear round 2. No eliminations here. Cocoa Powder still the only marble with 1 strike. And on we go to round 3.
I've only just noticed those 4 marbles in the middle, sandwiched between 4 main members. 4 reserves have made it to the final, all in the middle spots there. Mayor's Run is leading this one. How will the reserves fare in the final? Of course, currently one of them does have a strike. Down they plunge in round 3. We've got 4. We've got 2 come off to the near side, and one of them is the Treat Fleet, Cocoa Powder. That will be 8th place finish for the Treat Fleet. Not what they would have been hoping for after getting to the final, of course, but still a good result for that team. Both Deep Divers and Rosebloods still clear it, and the other one to go out and get a strike is Muon of the Cold Fusion, a reserve there, having a poor result. But everybody else clears it, and there is still, I believe, 6 teams in round 4 yet to get a strike. Those marbles from round 1 are doing fantastic, particularly those, I believe, Fry did not get a strike at all in round 1 and has still not gotten a strike 11 rounds into their event. That is fantastic by the Efficient Eggs, but 7 marbles left in round 4 here.
Yes, indeed. Pumpkin Patch lead the way here. Cold Fusion to the near side. They already had their first strike. They are done. And the Maze Runners will also fall in one of the holes on the near side. They are also going to get their first strike. And I believe that's also their first strike of the day. But they are still going to have a second chance in this final. But the Cold Fusion, the only marble that came into this round with a strike, they are going to exit in 7th place in this event. Still a respectable result for them, but it would have hoped for more here. But we are down to 6 marbles here in round 5. Efficient Eggs, Golden Cheeses, Deep Divers, Rosebloods, Maze Runners, and Pumpkin Patch. Those top 2 in the standings, top 2 in this event last season, looking to possibly get top 2 here again. But they still have 4 other marbles to compete with here. Efficient Eggs has a train, very tight train here, and 4 marbles will go off. Only the Rosebloods and the Pumpkin Patch will make it to the end. How did this transpire? The Deep Divers are going to get their first strike. Golden Cheeses also going to be pushed off to the near side. Other marbles also falling in the holes, and critically for the Maze Runners, they will get their second strike, falling in one of those holes on the far side, and they will be out in 6th place.
It's advantage Rosebloods in the championship permutations here, with Deep Divers having a strike. Marine needs to keep it clean now if they're going to try and gain points on that leading team. And of course, look at this big spread for these competitors, and the Pumpkin Patch perhaps looking to go back-to-back in the medals here after their gold in the triathlon. Golden Cheeses make it. Deep Divers are gone! They're out of the event. The Rosebloods capture their first strike, and they will extend their lead over the Deep Divers, who just could not stop the drift to the right. But Rosebloods went to go join them on the far side, and the Pumpkin Patch also get their first strike. Deep Divers will crash out of this event in 5th place, and Golden Cheeses and Efficient Eggs also both getting us. Also, no, sorry, the Golden Cheeses and Efficient Eggs do not get a strike. They already had one, and now we're down to just 4. Everybody on 1 strike. If it is do or die now, you fall on through, you are out. The first one to fall on through will miss the podium. So this is a very, very important round, especially for the Rosebloods. How far can they extend that lead?
And Golden Cheeses will jump to the front of the queue. They will make it. So will all 3 of the other marbles. All of them will make it, and we will go on to the next round. No problem here. This is essentially sudden death. If you are out, you are done. How far can the Rosebloods go? A gold or a silver here will be huge to stretch that lead. But they have Gord, Fry, and Feta to challenge them. Gord, in fact, the winner of the triathlon, pulling double duty here. Could they go back-to-back golds in event 11 in event 12, we'll have to see. But here in round 8, Gord now up to the front, Azalea of the Rosebloods put to the back. We'll see if that can help them. We haven't quite seen the front or the back have a noticeable advantage in this event, so we'll see how this affects these marbles here. But it's a close pack here into this round, and all of them will make it, no problem. Once again, we will go on to the next round.
This is, again, going down to the wire. Pumpkin Patch clearly getting ahead. I noticed a whole lot of spread in the final stretch into the track here. Pumpkin Patch pushed themselves forward, in turn pushing everyone back in a chain reaction. Golden Cheeses, I thought, were closest, but Rosebloods also had a bit of trouble on the second half of the whole shot, almost getting that second strike and missing the podium. But this is just unbelievable. 2 rounds with 4 marbles left, all on 1 strike, none of them refusing to give in. This is fantastic entertainment, as now it is Efficient Eggs in front, Cheeses, Rosebloods, and Pumpkin Patch behind. It's close to the funnel, will remain close down the stretch. It does for a ways. Down the thing they come. Oh, it's all gone wrong for Pumpkin Patch and the Rosebloods. They will both go out, and I believe they both went out in the same round earlier as well. What will this come down to? Pumpkin Patch or Rosebloods for the bronze medal, but it will be Efficient Eggs and Golden Cheeses in what is definitely sudden death. But it's Pumpkin Patch for getting a little bit further down the course. They will get the bronze medal here, and Gord goes back-to-back on the medals. Not quite back-to-back on the gold, but still an incredible achievement for the Pumpkin Patch, as 2 reserves, Feder and Fry, line up to try and win gold.
What amazing feat by these 2 reserves battling for the gold here. This could be the final round, but we could also go on for many more rounds here. Golden Cheeses will cut out in front. Oh, they get tripped up a little bit, but the Efficient Eggs will go off to the far side, and that means the Golden Cheeses will capture gold in the Holeshot Cross. I thought for a second there the Golden Cheeses might have fell on through. They managed to pick themselves up and get close and get far into the catch basin, and the Efficient Eggs might have got a bit ahead of themselves, seeing the Golden Cheeses almost fall in that hole. They will go off to the far side. They will still get their 2nd silver of the season, but the Golden Cheeses, their 2nd gold of the season as defending champions, and it's their reserve getting their 1st individual medal ever in the Holeshot Cross here in Season 5. Well done to them. So with just 4 events to go, Rosebloods Deep Divers stay top 2, but the Golden Cheeses join those other 2 champions in the top 3. Then it's the Maze Runners and the Pumpkin Patch. Venomous Vipers drop to 6th. And looking at the Coaches Championship of just the individual events, with 2 individual events to go, the Golden Cheeses take the lead ahead of the Rosebloods and the Pumpkin Patch. And down below, the Treat Fleet and the Green Supreme cannot win the Coaches Championship. After this, we will go to the Holeshot Cross for the 6th event of the B Division, and then the elimination race, so stay tuned for then.
Please, God, let the Nickel Knights do well. I beg of you. Everything holy and beautiful in this world, please. Please.